So here's a good one where a husband and father, rightfully, and I do mean rightfully, is ending his marriage, kicking the wife to the curb after she went from being sweet and loving and all that for years to turning into Lord of the Rings Gollum on steroids after she became pregnant with her first child, and especially after. I'm talking full on crazy, a lot of bad things. And of course, because he's now ending it with her, he's seen as a big bad guy on multiple fronts, multiple people. And I'll be going to go over here, guys. And when it gets that bad, and you're going to see how bad it gets, because I got to watch my words here, you got to end it. End the story. This goes beyond in sickness and health and that type of thing, because this is outright, he's in danger, as is the kid. Titled, Am I the a-hole for going forward and refiling divorce after my wife canceled, and now that she's getting the help she needs for her postpartum depression? And a shout out to Nishad for sending me this short story. It says here, I don't want this on my main account. I'm 29, and I was in a relationship with my soon-to-be ex-wife, a 28-year-old female, for 8 years. Everything was what I described as nearly perfect. Small arguments here and there, but nothing really significant or relationship altering. All that stopped 13 months ago after she got pregnant. The child wasn't a surprise as we were trying for a baby. I seriously don't know what went wrong, but around the 4-month mark, my wife went complete 180 from the kind, caring, sweet woman as she used to be to a total tyrant. I know it's bad to speak of someone like that, but that's the best way I can describe it. Dude, you're allowed to talk about like that because let me tell you, I'm going to go, not tyrant, Lord of the Rings Gollum on steroids. She's freaking crazy. And sure, carrying a little human being around in you can definitely make you lose it, and the emotions and the hormones and being sick all the time, but that does not give any woman the right to behave as you're about to hear. This is crazy. I'm completely honest when I say me breathing was an issue for her. Waking me up at 2 in the morning because she wanted something specific and became verbally abusive when I refused to drive 40 minutes to get her ice cream that she was craving. That's just ridiculous. That's psycho. She went on a tirade because she wanted Chick-fil-A on a Sunday and the place was closed. Oh, so it's his fault the Chick-fil-A is closed on a Sunday? Now, why does she act this way? Okay, yeah, she's definitely going through a lot, fair enough, because she knows she can get away with it. And you're going to see this guy doesn't put her in her place, and he has every right to. I've known a number of pregnant women, both my family and wives of friends of mine, they didn't behave this way, because believe me, I would have heard about it. And I get everybody's different, but no excuse here. She could control it. She was calling me a useless husband, everything under the sun, wasn't allowed to sleep in the same bed as her, then being pissed at me in the morning for not sleeping in the same bed as her. Cleaning the house because it's too loud, and not cleaning the house, cooking something she doesn't want anymore, but requested it earlier. I bared everything, every insult, all the verbal abuse. Smack! No. That's the problem with these guys nowadays. They think they just have to take it. That's bullshit. You know, if you want to do everything you can to make her comfortable and help her out with food and things she may crave, okay, I can get that to a point. But trying to get you to drive 40 minutes away to get her some ice cream or yelling at you because Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday and all this other stuff, no way. I never raised my voice towards her during that time. Well, that's a problem. He's not standing up for himself. I begged her to get help and talk to a doctor, therapist, her mother, anyone, but she refused. Smack! Another clue. You don't beg. Begging's for pussies. This woman doesn't respect you, and she's losing it. You never beg. You need to stand up for yourself. Bullies only attack weakness, and this guy is demonstrating weakness. That made things worse because apparently I called her crazy for asking to help her get help. I went with her to the doctor one time, and when I brought up the mood swing, the hell I was in for the whole week wasn't worth it. Talking to her mom as well, she tried to help, but my wife will act overly sweet, and she made it seem like I was the one who was crazy until her mother left. Then it was back to hell for me. Even the camera footage I have of her going off of me made it seem out of context, and I was made out to be the monster by everyone for not doing more or enough. See, the guy's always the bad guy. So she can control it. When she was around her mom, all sweet, sunshine and rainbows. The second everybody's gone, boom, she's acting psycho. She can control it. She's doing this on purpose. Whatever reason. I gotta wonder if this is his baby. And she's taking out on him because Tyrone or Chad isn't there to be with her. She made it seem like every time she got angry was in response to something I did. Me sleeping at 4 a.m. and she's not able to open a can of peaches was my fault, earning me a can against the chest while sleeping. Fuck her. So 4 months ago, she gave birth. It wasn't an easy birth, but I was hopeful that things would somewhat return to normal. But that's when the postpartum depression kicked in. I again tried to help. I did suggestions, research, talking to a therapist of my own to find better ways to help her, but everything I did made things worse. Because you kept trying to appease her and help her. And that just made her lose more respect for you. She was a freaking asshole. I was against her with everything, calling her a shit wife, bad mother, even though these words never left my mouth. Everything blew up when she actively became physically violent. Here we go. As if things weren't beyond the point of no return, this is when they do, when she's violent, physically. My last straw was when she smashed a coffee cup on my head when I walked out of the room after a small argument because I took too long to bring her a cup of coffee. I was busy with our son changing his diaper. She broke a coffee mug on his head while he was changing the kid's diaper. So, hello. Aside from the clunking the head, the burns, it could have hit the baby. She's completely out of control. There's no going back from that. And I don't care about any kind of bullshit excuses. This was the first time in 8 years that I raised my voice to her and told her we're done, so she can pick up her shit and move the fuck out of my house. You're darn right she can move the F out of your house. Abso-freaking-lutely. And I might add, it's about damn time he did that. Imagine what would happen if he stood up for himself earlier and laid down the law with her. But we're not done. She went to her parents' house. She wanted to take our son with her, but I didn't allow that. When she said she'll call the cops, I pointed to the camera in the hallway and told her she's welcome to try, as the camera caught it all. Thank God he had cameras. She is unfit to be around that kid. A week later, I was served with divorce papers. I wanted to file, but didn't have the time with work and caring for her son. I was busy. She didn't waste any time. Divorce papers. Talk about, most of the time it's like, oh God, the divorce papers. He's probably like, hallelujah. 3 weeks back, after I got back from work, my in-laws were waiting for me. Apparently her parents got her to see a therapist after they threatened to kick her out because she became abusive to them as she was to me. There you go. The same in-laws that probably didn't believe him. They finally believe me now, and I wasn't making things up. They gave me a letter from my wife before they left. The letter basically says the following without writing everything out. She's sorry for the way she treated me all those months. She doesn't know why she did it and has no excuse. After her parents threatened to kick her out, she saw a therapist and a psychiatrist, and she's better now that she's on medication to help her. Nope. You could have done that before, but only when you're literally kicked out of 2 places did you take action. Nope, not happening here. We're done. And in the letter, she says she stopped the divorce proceedings and wanted to give us another try. I haven't responded to the letter, and I told my lawyer to proceed with the divorce proceedings. Good. She's gone too far. Once she got violent with you, there's no going back. Because all she has to do is, supposedly, if it's truly something that medication needs to work on, she goes off the medication, boom, she's right back to being Gollum on steroids. No way. And it's a shame. He spent 8 years with her. But clearly, I gave the letter to her as well, as it contains a lot of details of what she did, as well as her admitting the verbal abuse. It's not just my words anymore, especially for the things that happen in public. The videos I have, as well as the video of her breaking the coffee cup on my head, with the hospital visits for the stitches and the burn marks from the hot coffee. So he has a letter from her admitting what she did. So now, aside from video footage, he has her admitting this in a letter. What a dumbass, but good for him. I'm told I'm the a-hole, as she's getting help and she needs now, and that I should forgive her and give her another chance. I should do it and keep our family together, if, and of course, I truly love her. I'd be able to forgive her for all the things she did while not in her right mind. I'm a monster because I have no idea what she went through. Who's saying that? All her girlfriends? Her mom? Her sister? Fuck them. They're not married to her. They didn't experience all that. Why don't you show them the videos? Why don't you explain to them that, how about my child's in danger with her? But then again, you're wasting your breath. But this is how it works, guys. This is how it is with the guys. The guys are always the bad guy. No matter what it is, we have to suffer. We have to endure. No, if the situation was reversed and he was treating her in the same manner as she was treating him, obviously he's not pregnant, but you get my point. He was going through something or whatever, mental issues. Every single woman that's telling this guy that he's a monster for leaving her will be telling her to leave him. We know it. My things is, why did she take that? Why didn't she take the help I suggested? I did everything humanely possible to help her, and she refused. She made me out to be the evil person, and everything I did wasn't right. Good enough, not enough, nothing. Even when I removed myself from the situation, that also was I was in the wrong. I have more than enough evidence to get full custody of our son, and a prenup that protects everything I have, including the house. I wouldn't hold your breath on that part, man. But if your lawyer's saying maybe you're in an at-fault divorce state. Am I the a-hole for refusing to continue the relationship and proceeding with the divorce? No. You did everything. You went above and beyond the call of duty. There's no fucking excuse for that. She's psycho. Okay? I mean, no way. And it was there's no going back after her smashing a coffee cup with hot coffee on your head. And I might add that I don't know how it didn't spill on the poor little baby. You can't trust your son with her. She's fucking mental. Done. And again, the situation was reversed. Come on here. We all know everybody would tell her to leave town. He says here, also, I see it already in the notification, I'm going to get full custody of it for my son. I'm going for full custody. My lawyer says there is no issues, but she can't see any reason a judge would not grant me full custody of my son. Depends on the judge. Just to add as well, my son is mine. I did go through my wife's web messages and everything just before birth for this exact reason. No delete messages I could find, weird expenses, out of control messages, anything like that. The test was done and he is mine. So that's what I was thinking. Is this kid his? But no, he did the paternity test. Obviously, it's his son. So I'm so sorry this happened to this guy. And obviously, he made mistakes by being too nice and not standing up for himself against a fucking tyrant. But at the end of the day, maybe if he did and she calmed down a little, they'd still be together. And then one day, he's not there and she loses on the kid. And God, sadly, you hear stories like this when these mothers lose their minds and the poor kids, I mean, I think I heard a story a couple weeks ago where some mother went to Niagara Falls and she had a newborn and I think a little kid with her, and they literally climbed up and jumped in, and that was the end of them. Right? Fucking crazy. And I didn't really research what was going on. Was she recently divorced and all these things? But the point is, that's what happened. And you hear stories like this all the time. And it's, generally speaking, some unhinged mama. So this guy's every right to get rid of her, end it with her, and keep that kid away for the kid's safety. And again, we all know darn well, it's always a bad guy here, so good for him. And this goes to show you guys, once again, how unbalanced things are.